How we first met, that was at the new faculty orientation, right? We were both like just on campus. Usually in the fall, they have like a event for all the new faculty to come in and tell you about stuff that you need to know. And I think we were sitting like in front of each other, if I remember correctly, and we just started chit-chatting. And one of the first questions you ask a fellow new faculty is like, oh, what's your research? And so we were talking about that and realized we had this overlap of interest in resilient power grids.
Yeah, and complex systems. I knew Asher was working on complex systems engineering and different. And yeah, that's where I learned about the bio-inspired stuff.
And then I remember this Energy Institute seed grant came up, and it required, if I remember correctly, it required like faculty from different departments, at least 2 faculty, like you had to have 2 people from different departments, or at least 2 departments represented. And I was like, oh, perfect.
Ever since that new faculty orientation, though, we were like looking for something. And we've been like kind of tossing ideas back and forth and like learning about what each other is doing. And so then when that came out, it was like, oh, this is the perfect thing I should try this.
The project started because of my experience and interest in bio-inspired system design. So I had been working on looking at like how industries interact by exchanging byproducts with each other to try to reduce overall waste, reduce raw material use. And I have been having some success with that, of finding that by mimicking the way that food webs, species in food webs interact with each other, mimicking that network structure that forms by those interactions, we could get a better resultant network, so like improve sustainability outcomes. And there was this like inkling that we would also see improved resilience outcomes. So the overall network could respond to a disturbance better when it was designed to mimic these structures we see in food webs, as opposed to designing it to just focus on reducing cost or reducing waste. And so Kate and I started talking because I thought maybe power grids could be a cool place to try this. And I had zero expertise or background with power. And right, Kate's interest, right, your expertise is all about power grids and resilience.
Yeah. So from my perspective, everything's all about power system resilience. And so I'm always looking for things we can do across different timescales to make power systems more resilient. And then, with meeting Dr. Layton and learning about the bio-inspired metrics, and it just seemed like we had a good research hypothesis of let's try to apply these to see if they can make power system operation more resilient.
The idea was, right, your predator-prey food web model of the ecosystem. Ecosystems are super complex, lots of species, lots of organisms, all different types of interactions. But if you just focus on the predator-prey exchanges, your predator is your consumer and your prey is your producer, right? So with that understanding of what those terms meant, you could then start to make analogies and think about, okay, when you have industries interacting with each other, whether it's a supply chain or something more complex, you've got producers and consumers, right? You've got an exchange of materials or energy, and there's some sort of transformation happening.
And then from my side, it was like learning about and understanding those different metrics in more of like a broader engineering context. And I remember our first paper on it, like the idea was so new and so kind of hitting people in the face with like compared to what they expect, like it was kind of shocking for people at first. So I remember like our very first paper, like how much work it took to kind of like really be able to demonstrate and like convince people that like this can be a useful thing to do.
Yeah, I remember those first reviewer comments. They were like, so, this is too crazy. It's like they didn't want to get on board. Yeah, so we really had to like fight for our idea to show them like, no, really, this is, what we're showing you is like, there's something real here.
But then it's paid off, because we've had papers in the top power system journals, and it's getting there. It might really become like the way that power systems are operated.
So for me, the Texas A&M Energy Institute, all of this bio-inspired power grid work we've been doing the last 8 years, it really started with that Energy Institute Sea grant that they awarded us back in 2018. So I've been very, very appreciative. I've done some other stuff with the Energy Institute since then. We've both like co-advised some master's students through the Energy Institute master's program. So that's been a lot of fun too. So I've gotten a lot out of it and enjoyed my collaborations with them.
I would agree that the Texas A&M Energy Institute has been really helpful with sponsoring the Sea Grant for us. And so there's been a lot of great things that have come out of that.